perhaps that she wanted out of her marriage, but she has the kids, so she's got to stay in and work. She's got to deal with things. So these are committed times up, building up to the Saturn return. Okay, with the Saturn return, she's starting to get out of the house and working a bit more, or going in that direction. By 89, she's built up some kind of career status. She's the mom, she's got the kids, she's got things built up. That was the last big piece. So the first one was at 60, just going to school. Second one, just getting out to work, get out of the house, accomplishing things. So she built it up. I'm not sure if she was working for her husband or something at this time, or in her husband's business at this time. But by the time, certainly by the time Saturn was coming around through the 10th house, by the time it got to oppose the sun and go into the 12th house and hit the ascendant and oppose Venus, she's not going to be happy with the setup. The kids are probably more or less grown up, but she's being drained and she's got to change. She knows things aren't working. So by the time Saturn hits the ascendant, she's in a place where the first time it was having to hold through school, knowing the parents aren't in touch with who she was, and having to be on her own. She's going to have that sense of being on her own as an adult. Back in 97, again, this one here is wrong time, so that's why I marked it. Okay, so by 98, it's on the ascent. 99, she's having to build up a new her. Now this is, I think, I'm not sure, but I would imagine somewhere along here, she started building up the real estate on her own, or trying to get out of the marriage to get her own world going and building it up. And I think somewhere along here, a new relationship came in, and whether it came at the motivation board or not, but it came in and she changed her life. She stayed in touch with the kids, but she maintained her career and was aligned with someone that liked her and who was working in the same field as her, and it was working. So, okay, you can see the shifts coming in. So then I'm just adding a few pieces in, but you would know this is a difficult time anyways. You want to know what's going on, what's happened. That was in 90, 91, 97, 98, 99 in there. So by the time it gets down to 0304, or 0304, Saturn's on the IC. It's at the lowest point again. What am I doing here? Where am I going? I know what I don't want. I know where I have to go. I have to go somewhere different. So she's been struggling with herself. The Jupiter, Pluto, should I stay? Should I go? What should I do? Until she knew what she didn't want. By 2003, she knew what she didn't want. She changed it. Often, Saturn on the IC, when you're at the lowest point, someone comes into your life from another lifetime, from other places that you're really connected to. That represents the next 30 years. It represents a long-term time. So there's a good chance, I don't remember it, but there's a good chance for a relationship may have started there. It certainly really got reinforced there. That was the point where she had to start changing her world and building it up. But so certainly I know these years were big years around real estate and being really good and efficient at it. I would have met her, probably, no, it wasn't during this. I would have met her, Saturn would have conjuncted her sun in 2006, and it hit the descendant in 2011, 12. I probably met her around the time of Saturn conjuncting her Saturn return, second Saturn return. And then we did the client, she had a couple consultations really related to it, and she's still building up her career. She's really well up, but she was working on her studying and her learning and her philosophy and the astrology during this. So by 2018, the classes were finished by 2018. They were finished before that. They would have finished by about 2016. So yeah, so in this period, taking the classes, but she also just made a decision with Saturn return with her husband that they were going to get property in the States, in the Sedona. I think she pulled it off and got there at that point and was working to get 2 months off to go there, or trying to get more time to be there in the wintertime. And I think that's still part of the struggle, but Saturn's still up high in her chart. It was on the midheaven in 2018, the end of 2018, 2019. So it's still in the 10th house, riding very high. And it's a long time. So she's still got good working scenario. This is basically good achievement working area until Saturn gets down in about 6 years, when it starts to oppose the sun again. That's the next big turning point from the Saturn cycle. So we're seeing she's pulling things off. She's making things happen. She's working hard. and accomplishing a lot. Okay, so if someone's going to see you, you know Saturn's in the midheaven, you're established, you got to use your authority. It's not time to quit or retire, get away from things. It's time to keep going and using the seniority that you have for a number of years to build up resources so you can live off of it for the rest of your life or for the next number of years when Saturn's below. Okay. So there's no rush. You just sort of work at these things, and you just take one step at a time until you get to a point where you're satisfied. Okay, I got a sense we're building up the time perspective. So once you get Saturn anchored, we have a good sense of where this hardworking person is, the Libra, 6th house, and her skills, and she's using them up to the midheaven, and she's accomplished, she's established. Now what? But okay, so we're looking up at the Saturn, what's she doing, what's happening. It takes a lot of effort to be up there. It is the quadrant that's her weakest quadrant because it builds up to the opposition to her sun. So time demands are really strong with Saturn up in the midheaven, up in the 10th house. Okay, and squaring the sun, squaring the Venus, how much she's working really hard, but she's having to make a lot of effort to maintain this. Okay, now we're going to look through Pluto. We got our 8-year graph. Was for 2018, so it's really 5 years back because we're in 2019 now, almost out. But it's still good enough to work with. 2015, nothing, but 2017, Pluto was squaring the Venus. So 2017, 2018, and even into 2019, even up till right now, Pluto's squaring the Venus. Last hit. Well, this is a big confrontation around emotions, love, finances, emotions. There's a fear here. Her Venus is not badly aspected, but Pluto makes a reality check. What's real? What's going on? What are you doing? So there's some kind of confrontation, emotionally, financially, going on that's affecting her sense of love and beauty and how things are. There's a harsh reality here. So Saturn's high, she's working hard. The Pluto would be probably, it could be something, she could be, I know she's in the two worlds. If she's in the States and in Canada, she would have to be paying American taxes. Would she become the American citizenship? Would she pay the 2 taxes? Would there be extra penalties or extra things? There's some harshness here. How much she's working hard and how much money is she getting for what she's doing? Or she could be doing really successful, but she's tired. It's not giving her time for her relationships. Or there could be a challenge around the relationship that threatens the Venus. This is not a small aspect. This brings up fear of love and sharing, fear of not having money, fear of having, what do you have to do? So she could be working really hard to fix this. And yet, what if the husband's health was there? Or what if one of the kids was getting in trouble and there was cost involved with that? Wow, there's a whole lot of things, but there's certainly, there's been challenges coming here, on and off. How to get out, this is 2017. That's going and coming back to the States. Again, the winter of 2018, then summer, then the fall, winter again. So the hits so far have been tied up with being in the States and away from the family, with her husband, away from her kids' family with the kids. And it's back there right now, just at a time when she's ready to finish the year and go down south. There's some confrontation happening around this. I don't know what it is. I know it's a big deal. This is the last hit of it. And once she gets past this next couple months, she doesn't get the Pluto. Well, the Pluto's still around the other things, but it's not hitting the Venus anymore. It's not. It gets past that. So this is the crucial decisions hitting her emotions. Venus, which rules the moon and the sun and 7 points in her chart. So this is a major issue. It could just be, maybe it's too much work and taking too much effort to be in the 2 countries. Do I move one? Do I leave the other? Which way do I go? And now, so that's going on. This is the last hit of it. These last few months, we're right at the end of it now in November. So it's past the exact aspect of just coming forward. come out of it. So some decision's been made, something showed up. However, at the same time as Pluto is going through here, by the time it was squaring the Venus, it's not long after that it's going to hit the ascendant. So in 218, it starts squaring the ascendant. So this means she's tired or confronted by how much she's doing, or she's going in a different way than the husband, or there's troubles around the demands being made on oneself and on the relationship. It's not making this enjoyable, which is going to affect her. What do I do to make it more enjoyable? What do I got to do? What do I got to do? That came up two springs ago. Then it came back all of this year. January right through to August, Pluto squaring the ascendant and going back and forth with so this is just one 2017, 2018, 2019. It's all one big complex of confrontation, having to face fears around things, around love, around relationships, around money, and identity. Now, so it's possible a health thing, but I don't think it's so much a health thing because she has a fairly healthy chart. I think it's more likely it could be husband's health, it could be relationship to husband's health, or how healthy he is. Maybe he can't take going back and forth with so much traveling, but this is affecting her, and it's still, so it's lifting off the Venus, which is good. It's still on the ascendant, which is really personal. There's still confrontations and hard decisions, November, December, January. Lifts off a bit through the winter, comes back again through the end of the last 4 or 5 months of 2020. Then it lifts. Then the identity, the emotional and the identity confrontations are past. Now, sometimes, well, when it's Pluto or the other planets, they attack your personal chart. So this is not to be underestimated. This is a key to understanding this chart right now. It's really important. And you know, there's something really challenging or confronting. She's working towards something and it's threatening. She may not get it, so she's not getting what she wants. There's a confrontation around it, and it's beginning to affect the relationship as well, or it may be tied into it. Sometimes when Pluto is there, it brings up all the fears, and at the very same time, it makes one wake up spiritually. What's really true? What's bullshit? What's true? So if she's going and waking up spiritually, is the partner, are the kids, these challenges are all involved with this. So this is really deeply therapeutic. There's a need for a deep transformation of one's identity. She studied all the astrology just before this, in the building up to this. So by the time she got to this, she has the astrology knowing this is going on. So she's conscious of these issues. That doesn't make it easier.